All right. Let me get situated here. Gotta with the proof and all that kind of stuff. Um, while I'm doing what I'm doing right now, um, I figured I'd just take the opportunity to reiterate. Do I have something against the self-proclaimed patriots, and do I have something against the SHTF preppers? No, I don't. It's when you try to sell fear, that's what I have a problem with. The fear mongering and the war mongering and all that kind of stuff. Other problems I have a deal, you know, other problems that need to be addressed.
Freedom fighter. You say you're a warrior for Christ.
Let's see here. 2 hours after I 2 hours after Zombie Farmer did his live stream titled "My Fist Through Your Teeth" edition. Um, I decided to mirror what he said and give my 2 cents on what Zombie Farmer said. Um, let's see here. Like I said, I'm here to reiterate things. First things first. Do I have something against SHTF preppers? No, I don't. What's going on there? But anyways, um, when you try to sell fear, that's something I have a problem with. Fear mongering and warmongering, that's something that you all need to calm down on. Seriously. See what else. Oh, and the self-proclaimed patriots, I know they mean well, but at the same time, they perpetuate the definition of insanity. They do. They enable and embolden the politicians to violate the rights. They enable and embolden the cops to violate the rights. Mm. Now, you have to understand the true definition of the word patriot. It is someone who is willing to defend and support his or her country. That's a patriot. And so far, the self-proclaimed patriots, they don't fit. They absolutely don't. They don't fit the bill. Um, let's see here. Now, as far as the zombie farmer situation, yes, I chose to upload the that video that's 56 minutes and 52 seconds long. I chose to upload the video to prove a point. Did I have to? No, I don't. That video, that live stream, I mirrored from Zombie Farmer to critique. I mirrored that video after 2 hours when it was initially live streamed, when he was live. See here. Once again, not too sure if I actually put the parts of what's his face, Zombie Farmer, saying stuff about me. Oh, Red. That's what he said. Oh, Red. But he said I won't be at the table. I think you're wrong there, Zombie Farmer. I will be at the table. I will be fighting for freedoms and rights. I will. And yes, you do call for a civil war. You do call for a rebellion. You do. You've called for a civil war in the past. See, this is what I'm talking about right there. You sell fear. Yes, it's true that fear is a powerful motivator. It really is. But what you do with that fear, that's something that interests me. It really does. What people do with that power, that's something that interests me. What they do with power, that interests me a lot. You ask the question, what is God's law? Well, you got the 10 Commandments. That extends over to the New Testament as well. And also, Jesus himself said, love thy neighbor as yourself. But the Bible has so many contradictions. I can't think of all of them off the top of my head, but one of them. It says in the Old Testament, it says, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Then in the New Testament, it says, turn the other cheek. That's a contradiction. It really is. What else did you say? You said a bunch of the other things too. Some of those things didn't make any sense. You lied about, nobody threatened you. Nobody threatened you whatsoever. Nobody harassed you. It amazes me, people nowadays, they say, oh, well, you're just, when someone gives their opinion, that's considered to be harassment now. Harassment. That's a joke. Really is a joke. Ooh, 9mm. Let's piano. Got off track here. Zombie Farmer and the SHTF preppers and the Patriots, they strike me as people who don't know what to do when belief system their belief system collapses. They strike me as those type of people. They do. Now, I'm going to read this. I was able to finish listening to Red Reaper's video this evening. I will ask once again, and for the final time, someone cite where, specifically in our Constitution, that we, the people, which again includes me, gave government policing authority. Explain how you are free has any authority over you. And lastly, for the real sheep, explain how sheriffs have the most authority in the land. In a land where the people have, or are supposed to have, complete authority over the government, it's just more of repeating what you have been told, yet having zero evidence to back this up. Odd that nowhere in any of the founders' writings up until their deaths are government policing forces mentioned. Not once. Zombie Farmer, you are a communist. You have the same mindset and use the same logic that communists use. There is no difference at all. Government made it legal to police you, and the government gave these special police more authority than these other police. So do as you are told. Odd to have heard about these sheriffs refusing to evict property tax, something like that. Odd, I have never heard of a sheriff refusing to enforce any firearms laws except for the one time in Florida. And that sheriff was buddies with the guys, so he isn't a surprise. Googling where did sheriffs come from. Remembering what Google says doesn't make someone an expert on the subject. True. Scott, who you calling the keyboard warriors? Just got to know. Let's see what. Very odd that constitutionalists like the Crook never speaks about self governance. Sorry. Odd he never speaks about natural law. When the men who founded the country each spoke repeatedly about both topics and explained what they were. The Federalist Papers alone are enough to show the idiocy in believing that policing forces are constitutional or here to serve the people will take up arms. Go count how many times that sentence is stated in the Federalist Papers. If the people took arms today, who is the first that would have to fight? Oh wait, the police. True. Let's see what else. This country is no more. It is a communist cesspool where the self-proclaimed patriot is the most common enemy of freedom. I agree, 100%. 80% of all crime committed by those who survive due to the welfare state. Crime then justifies a policing force in the mind of sheeple. People then execute government rule and extort those who ensure their own survival to ensure the survival of welfare state. Do you see the never ending cycle here? And who pays both monetarily or are oppressed? The people who ensure their own survival, which is a responsibility of being free. Mr. Crook. Yeah, Crook. Pigs, zombie fairy. I know you and your friends will catch this while lurking. You can use any excuse that you want. You won't do a lie because there's no factual evidence that you can show to explain your point of view other than that uh, what they told me. Also, I hate to be the one to inform you. Breaking bread refers to having a meal. Freedom Inc. is right about that. Oh, okay, Scott. Oh my gosh. Gaming and blog. Look, go Brandon. Oh my gosh, that's a bunch of fucking bullshit. Let's see. Not a conversation. Your real fear is that, in reference to the reason why Zombie Farmer is afraid of going live with um, Free to Make, is because his real fear is that it won't be able to be deleted. You are a fascist or authoritarian communist pig, equal to the Gestapo, equal to the Redcoats, equal to the MKVD under Stalin, Joseph Stalin, that is, equal to the Red Guard under Mao something from China, whatever. All policing forces are just doing their jobs. If government has authority over you, then you are not free, period. Using your logic that the men who founded this country founded it completely on lies. Not much tech. I gotta say this, Scott. That thank you for your service thing. It, I don't know why, but it just it just, how can I say this? I'm just gonna leave it at that. I thank you for your service and all that kind of stuff. I think it's so overused a lot. But like I said, do I have a problem with patriots? Yes. When they fear mongering and warmongering, talking about civil war as if they're going to start it or finish it, but they don't have the balls to actually start a civil war, you know, fire the first shot, heard around the world type of deal. Freedom is supposed to be fought for. Overrated and cliche-ish is basically too. It's cliche. It really is cliche. So, anyways, by the way, the Patriots, I will say this. I will give Crazy Heathen some credit. At least Crazy Heathen put his problems with Black Lives Matter to the side. And even though protesting does nothing, but he protested against police brutality. So I'm going to give you, Crazy Heathen, some credit there. But when it comes to fear mongering and warmongering, that's something I can't support. No, I don't have a problem with the SHTF preppers. I have a problem with pretty much the same thing. Fear mongering, warmongering, all that kind of stuff. Saying it's going to be World War III. I mean, who knows? Well, after watching his video, Twiggy Bones, I actually kind of like him. That's why I gave him credit where it's due. See, that's the problem right there. You got, other patriots who say, "Oh, I'm not going to, protest with Black Lives Matter at all." In other words, they're not willing to um, push their differences off to the side and say, "Hey, we support this and all that." They claim that they support the BLM supporters peacefully protesting, but they don't through their actions. Let's go back. Let's rewind the clocks. I think it was back in 2015, 2016 when or before that when Colin Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem. Everybody was pissed off about that. He wasn't hurting anyone. He wasn't hurting the Patriots or anybody else. See, the problem is with these Patriots, they think that they should they think it's their duty to force patriotism on others. No, you don't force patriotism on others. In my opinion, those in power, they have to earn patriotism. Something else I want to share too. The Battle of Athens, 1946. Called the McMahon whatever County War, was a rebellion led by citizens in Athens and some other town in Tennessee, United States, against the local government in August 1946. The citizens, including some World War II veterans, accused the local officials of predatory policing, police brutality, political corruption, and voter intimidation. Apparently, there was 200 plus deputies, 300 to 60 organized men, which includes World War II veterans who were armed with M1 Garand rifles, M1911 pistols, M1917 Enfield rifles, Army revolvers, Molotov cocktails, and dynamite. The result was a rebellion victory. McMinn County government forced to disband, replaced by new government. So, with 30 to 60 organized men against 200 plus deputies, those 30 to 60 organized men won the rebellion. You know, it amazes me that people say, "Oh, I'm so sick and tired of the corruption in this country. I'm so sick and tired of the tyranny and all that kind of stuff." Well, do what the World War II veterans did. Do what the World War II veterans did back in those old days. Take matters into their own hands. Mhm. Estimates of number of veterans besieging the jail never vary from several hundred to as high as 2,000. Bill Wright had at least 60 under his command. White split his group with Buck Lenders, taking up a position at the bank overlooking the jail, while White took the rest to the post office. Just as estimates of people involved vary widely, accounts of how the Battle of Athens began and its course of event diverged, sorry, not divulged. Something Williams recalled that when the men reached the jail, it was barricaded and manned by 55 deputies. The veterans demanded the ballot boxes but were refused. They then opened fire on the jail, initiating a battle that lasted several hours by some accounts, considerably less by others. Well, there's the problem, folks. People don't have the guts to fight the tyrannical government. Let's see who's on in here. Oh, I got to go, guys.